Are you looking for the best emergency radio? In this video, we'll break down the top emergency radios available, whilst comparing them for price versus performance. Before we get started with our video detailing the best emergency radios on the market, we have included links in the description for each product mentioned, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting off at number 1, we have the Sangean MMR88 emergency radio. This emergency radio has a good reception and even better sound quality. The battery life is good, and you have the option of replacing the rechargeable battery, which many other units don't offer. The emergency features are all useful. Not only can you replace the rechargeable battery it comes with, but the battery lasts longer than most people expect. Users report up to 10 hours from a 2-hour charging time. There's a battery indication level, which is also useful. Both the solar and hand crank charging methods are above adequate, and you'll get 5 to 7 minutes of charge per 1 minute of steady cranking. The only negative is that it doesn't do a great job of charging cell phones. It does a minimum and then works to conserve the internal battery. There's a headphone output, which is a nice touch, but the speak quality goes beyond expectations on this emergency radio. The max volume is 82 decibels, and the volume control is adequate. Reception is also good, even when you're significantly far from broadcasting stations. Plus, you can preset up to 19 stations. This is a public alert certified emergency radio, which means you can definitely get the warnings you need, though you don't get to input same specifications for localized warnings. That said, you get AM/FM and the 7 NOAA weather radio reporting stations, so you'll be in good hands for most events. There's a clock and a backlit LCD display, and those things are just the beginning. The high setting on the flashlight outputs about 15 lumens of light, and there's also a low setting. In addition, there's the SOS Morse code light so you can signal for assistance. You'll also get a signaling siren. The unit itself is quite sturdy, and it's IPX3 water resistant. On top of all that, you get a minimal phone charge, and repower your device in any number of ways. At number 2, we have the Midland ER310 emergency radio. The battery life on this one is quite exceptional, making it perfect as a camping radio to keep you entertained through the evening. The addition of the dog whistle, as well as the SOS beacon, flashlight, and hand crank radio features, make it exceptionally useful if there's an emergency. You can charge this emergency radio just about any way you like. It takes roughly 6 hours to charge via solar, which is the same as it takes via USB. Sadly, there isn't an alternative power cord, though those are becoming increasingly obsolete. Expect up to 32 hours of just radio operation from a single charge, though it's much closer to 10 if you're using other features at the same time. And if you end up needing the hand crank, you should know it's both sturdy and 1 minute of cranking creates about 9 minutes of power. Just a little tip to throw in. Pay attention to the sticker with information about the lithium-ion battery rather than the user manual when getting set up. And be sure to connect the lithium battery, it comes disconnected. The reception of the AM/FM NOAA weather radio stations is excellent, though users often report that the FM stations come in clearer than the others. The sound quality is also more than respectable given the size and multi-functions available. As far as volume, you can reach more than the respectable 87.6 decibels. While you get an earphone jack, you can't stream off your iPod via Bluetooth. More of a concern is the inability to save multiple stations. The unit maintains that last station per band only, but at least there are buttons rather than manual tuning. You do get NOAA weather radio stations and weather alerts, but you can't program same weather codes for localized reports. If you're traveling and you don't know them, that shouldn't be a concern. You'll get the major area alerts and the alarm is super loud. You won't sleep through them. The flashlight has low and high settings and you can get a bright 130 lumens from it. There's also a Morse code beacon. There's also an ultrasonic dog whistle, which can be useful if there's a search after inclement weather and you've managed to get yourself very lost. Backcountry reception is very good and you can charge your phone, even using the hand crank in a pinch. We would have loved a loud siren to go with these goodies, but most people find these emergency features are more than enough. At number 3, we have the RunningSnail MD090 emergency radio. The power use on this is way better than average, and you can get power from any which way, including the useful hand crank radio option. The lighting options are surprisingly good, and there's even a hook if you need to hang it to flood the room with light, or just go hands and table free. This little gadget really can handle it all, and we love that. When you charge the lithium-ion battery, you can expect around 12 hours of usage, depending of course on the features you're using. Users report getting 10 minutes of power per 1 minute of hand cranking, and the expected power use from solar charging. If you have them on hand, you can use 3 AAA batteries to power this up. You can also partially charge your phone when you need. Plus, wonderfully, this unit arrives fully charged, just in case. The audio quality is good. Radio reception is above average, and users find the sound quality better than expected. But you can't do anything fancy like Bluetooth your iPod through this emergency radio. It's for emergencies. And some people have a difficult time with the manual dials. So you will get an AM/FM radio with this, and 7 NOAA channels. In principle, that's good enough for most people. However, you need to keep the weather band on to receive alerts. If you know something is on the way, that's fine, but this won't be your first choice if out-of-the-blue alerts are critical to you. You get a lot of emergency extras with this radio. In addition to the flashlights and the hand crank power situation, there's also a Morse code beacon and a serious SOS siren. You can also charge your phone and expect this emergency radio to deal with some splashing. If you're wondering how it'll hold up under a hurricane, you'll find plenty of positive reviews from those who say it has gotten them through at least one. And for our final pick at number 4, we have the iRonsnow IS-088 emergency radio. The price is obviously right, and for that you get a fair amount of features, though you shouldn't expect this to compete with the more expensive emergency radios. That said, it does get good reception and it charges cell phones in a pinch. Although some of the older units seem to have problems holding their charge, most units do not. You can charge through the mini USB cable, plus through solar or hand cranking. Hand cranking results vary. Some users just get a few minutes while others report hours of power. The important thing, however, is that you have the option if needed. Additionally, newer models do a much better job of giving you a bit of cell phone charge when you need it most. This little unit with AM, FM, NOAA bands gets good reception, even where you think it wouldn't be possible. And although you shouldn't expect super awesome sound, the little speaker does better than you'd expect. All you get is AM, FM radio plus NOAA weather radio. There aren't any alerts. But given this is a budget unit, and it picks up the bands it does get well, we're prepared to give this the score it deserves. This really is a budget emergency radio. You should think of it as just that. If you want bells and whistles, you'll need to pay more. Considering what you pay for what you get, this is more than fair. You can charge it using solar or hand cranking methods, not to mention through the rechargeable battery. There's also a 3 LED flashlight, which offers minimal light, but can help in a pinch. And you can also charge your phone, which is a little more than we expected for the price. So that sums up our top emergency radios of 2019. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have a great day.